Okay, so this video will be covering Viper lineups on Pro, and we're gonna be starting off at B site. First of all, I'd like to say never plant here. This is like the worst plant spot of all of B site. You do not want to be planting here. Why do you plant here? You're so much more likely to lose. And you lose control of B main and B ramps, which is how you win a majority of your attack rounds on Pearl due to how easy it is to attack B site. So preferably you want to be util dumping and taking control of this section over here. This is where you're going to be planning. This is going to be our default open plant spot. So our first lineup we have is from B ramps, and you're going to be tucking yourself in this corner. You want to be aiming at the edge of that white highlight there, and aim what I just put on there. You want to put that left middle UI thing on the edge of the right. It's like where the line is on the tail. That's where we're putting that. This will have a lot of coverage for a plant spot. Next is from B link. You want to tuck yourself in this corner. Aim at this bottom left of the window. Put your line here. And this will also land in the plant spot with a lot of coverage. Okay, so our last lineup spot is from Defender Side Records, which you'll never ever say in an actual game, but you tuck yourself in this corner here, and you want to be aiming at the bottom right of this thingy. And you know when you pull out your molly, the icon appears. You want to aim the white diamond right there. This will land in the plant spot with a lot of coverage again. Remember these two eyeball places though? Like if you want to just be play up here or need to throw it faster, you know, you could go up here on tower and throw it like that. Same would be like you could really just eyeball it. So you do those two if you need to do a fast molly land to prevent a bomb defuse. As your lineup will land too late, as you know it takes a while for it to land. It also takes a while for it to do enough damage to actually kill them. Second plant spot is going to be right here in the open. Now yes, this is a horrible plant spot, but assuming you have a lot of smokes in util. So again, I say this in my other videos, but I'm not really a YouTuber. I'm doing this for like my team strats, and we're going to be planning here because sometimes you get util dumped and spammed, which you're not going to be able to plant here anymore. Because once they get used to it, smart people will be playing over here or up top there and spamming the box. Because yes, this will be smoked off by whatever smokes we're doing, which is likely Viper and Harbor. And, you know, even if it's smoked off, you can still die. So like yes, this will be smoked off. This stuff likely by like a Harbor, as we're most likely doing Harbor Viper on this map. But you can still get spammed to death. Harbor protection bubble isn't a and you will die. And we also need to worry about things like killjoy nades and mollies. If we keep planning for the aggressive plant spot, as that is very horrible plant spot, you will eventually die once defenders get used to it. So we'll also be planning here at our second plant spot. And again, this is safe since we're going to be doing Viper Orb and also have the Harbor Protection Orb, which means it is a lot safer to plant there. Okay, so for our first lineup for our second plant spot, it's going to be right here in this corner again. And you're going to want to aim right here. And you see what I just put my UI icon right there? That's what I put there. Throughout. This will land in the second plant spot. So our second plant spot is again in this corner. And you'll be aiming over here for this one. And what I just put my UI part there, you put it in the middle of that line. a throw, and this will also land in the second plant spot. Last lineup is also from this section. You go in this corner again, except you'll be wanting to look over here. You see that highlight? You want to put what I just put my UI onto that bottom left highlight, right there. If you throw it from here, it will also land in the plant spot. Okay, so as this lineup isn't next to a wall or in a corner, it's harder to eyeball molly it, so I'd suggest just practice throwing random mollies over there. You can find ones for off the wall like that. As during an actual game, if you're too pressed for time to do a lineup, or if someone's flanking you, you have to do a fast molly, or they're about to defuse it, you want to be knowing where to put your crosshair at. And our actual last lineup spot is over here, and this is a fast one. Say you're more pressed for time, or you know you don't want to do a delayed molly, then you go over here and look at the orange thing. Throw it. This will land in the open plant spot. Now for the fast variation of the default plant spot, again same area, but except you want to intersect your line with the top of the orange thing. Hug the wall behind you and throw. So we'll have a lot of the most coverage for the default plant spot. Alright, so if you decide to commit to B site and you think you'll be able to plant the bomb there, then you want to have a one-way orb up here. And here's a simple lineup for that. You go in this general area and aim your line up there, like crosshair on the left of that. And this will reliably put your molly as close to that corner as possible. As preferably you want to put it as much there as possible, that way the defenders will be have to peek more in order to see you, which means more one-way time. Okay, so we actually have a third plant spot right here. So this is a situation where you're rotating from mid or even possibly CT somehow, and you're pressed for time or don't want to check for possible people back here, as they might have pushed and wait for you. As whenever you plant B, you always plant here usually, which means sometimes defenders, if you leave B completely alone, will be just lurking over there waiting for someone to plant and get a free kill. So here's a safe plant spot on a rotation. And again, you should plant for open, most preferably. But if you press for time and probably down a lot of people, this is when you do the plant spot right here. And this is our safe rotation plant. Now when you also plant in this spot, you'll be wanting to throw your orb up here. Unlike the other one-ways, it's not exactly a one-way, as the defenders could still defuse inside of it. However, if they want to peek out, they have to peek out a lot, and while they're doing that, you're going to see their legs and chest before they're able to see any part of you, which is why you want the orb up there. As this is a special situation, I did not make any lineups for B long or B link, as the reason why you play here is because you're worried that someone's B long and you are pressed for time and safety and want to put the bomb as fast down as possible before the rotators get there. And after you put that bomb down, you'll be wanting to go either B link this side, like towards CT, or be playing halls. And this is a bit too close, so I decided not to make a line up there. But you can eyeball molly it still. Same with up here. But if you decide to play here, I made a lineup for way back here instead, like a safe version. Alright, so for the first lineup is over here. I'll be aiming at that intersection right there where the orange appears. Aim the line of your Viper meter right above your Viper orb right there. This one has to be a bit pixel perfect. Like as soon as like the very top bar of that covers it, let me throw. The reason why it has to be a bit pixel perfect is it bounces like right on there. So if you mess it up, it's gonna land up here and will not prevent the bomb defuse. And the second lineup I made is over here. You gotta crouch here, and it's a really simple lineup. You just look over there, and you throw. This will also land in the safe rotation line spot. Now, preferably if you don't want to risk dying, because say they have a lot more people than you, like a 1v3 or a 2v3 or something. It really depends on the situation, as sometimes it might just be better playing up here and throwing a mollies like that while looking for potential picks. Other times you want to be playing more safe. So again, it really depends on the situation. But those are the two lineup spots. And like for here, if you do your lineup from here, you're gonna be peeking from B link later. This is where you're gonna be peeking. Okay, so for A site, our default plant spot is gonna be right here. And the reason why we're able to plant here is because we are most likely Viper Harbor, which makes it able so that we're able to go for more aggressive plant spots. Our first lineup is an A main. Put yourself in this corner, aim right here, and put the Viper line of the Viper meter right above your Viper wall over there. This will land on your on our default plant spot. Second one is from mid, and you want to be standing right here, like on this black line with the triangle, and you want to be looking over here at the top right of this. And a line I just put there on my UI, you put it like that, and this will also land on our default plant spot. This is our third lineup we have. Go here, stand on that black line intersection, and just look at the top of this wooding thing. And throw. Might want to look a little bit to the right, just so it lands more safe. But very, very little. You want to just be making sure you're looking horizontally directly with this wall. Our fourth lineup is right here from their spawn, the defender spawn. You want to tuck yourself in this corner. You're going to be aiming right here. Put what I just put on the UI icon right there. And this will also land in our default plant spot. Now, the last molly lineup. You can tuck yourself in this corner, and you want to be aiming at this, the top left of that. And you see like where my Viper ult is, like you have the green bar thing. You want to aim that right side of that right there. In the actual game, this is going to be white. So you got to make sure you're not aiming this part, but the inner part, like that. And when you throw the smolly, it will also land like this. For the A site, I did not actually make a second plant spot guide, as since due to our comp we're going to be running, this will be a viable plant spot we're going to get repeatedly. And this is a really bad plant spot to do, as you are forced to essentially be playing A main. It gives no really options for lurks, as it's not planned for art, and all the attackers everywhere else but A main is gonna have to push out. And unless if you have the utility to stop the plant, is not that good. This is another reason why it's very common for pro attack to just keep going B repeatedly. in the safe default, like the super safe default, this means that we're likely dead. So the lineups do not matter in our case. But in case a teammate plants here for whatever reason, then there are plenty of YouTube guides, but you could also just eyeball through it pretty consistently. So lastly, we'll be covering two eyeball lineups, like fast eyeball lineups, is forward at plant spot. Basically, when you're around here, you want to aim at this gray line thing. And as long as you're peeking out enough, it should consistently land. So for the second eyeball one, you just throw it like this. It'll land there. It is much better than throwing in the open like this, as you get to risk dying in order to peek like this. So it's safer to just play from back here and throw it like that. Basically just aim at that, like above the gray bar, and it will land. So that's it for the Viper Pro lineups, and I will be covering strats and setups in another video in the future. But we decided to finish all the lineup videos first. So after that is done for the characters we'll be playing, then we'll be working on that. And I apologize for all the sniffling you possibly heard, which might have been white noise, as I've been, like, my allergies are acting up during this video, so I apologize about that. Thank you for watching.